Andy's come a long way in a short amount of time. I think he's starting to break through. He's starting to believe in himself. His mental toughness is starting to show. He's down to a weight where I think he feels he can compete and hang with some of the best in the country. And I think the results, kind of speak for themselves.
Honestly, I'm always going to go for Andy Clark because hometown, Andy Clark, great wrestler.
He's been in big matches before. He's been there. He's been in the biggest tournaments in the country. I think he's ready. Sky's the limit. Hollingswood, hometown here, Andy Clark. He's my guy, so I'm rooting for him.
What's up, everybody? John Forster here, breakdown from the barn. Here with me today, we got Andy Clark, 157-pounder from Rutgers University. Also, we got the greatest mind in wrestling, Eric Winuck, and we are on location today. We are at Cherry's Ice Cream in Cherry Hill. Best ice cream in the planet. Come here, get it. How you doing today, Andy?
Doing pretty good.
So
be here.
nice. So we're at Cherry's. How do you what's your thought on Cherry's ice cream?
It's the best ice cream out there. I mean, best ice cream bakery and all of New Jersey, and it's right close to home, so it's good to be home.
Nice, and that's good. And I always come in here with my 4-year-old. We love it. What's your go-to ice cream here? What do you go with?
I go with the vanilla mango gelati or the vanilla malt milkshake.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'll tell you what I go with, Eric. I go the hot fudge sundae, and then there's a little tip. They put brownies in it. The brownies are good, but what I do is I take the brownies out. I take the brownies out and I go peanuts, a little more protein, less sugar. You don't get a body like mine from eating all that sugar,
And you got to leave the brownies in there, my man. And that reminds me of Cold Stone, where they go in there, throw the Snicker bar in, throw the Reese's Pieces, bang it all out. So I'm a little jealous. I'm sitting here at the home base. You guys are sitting there making milkshakes and banana splits. So I feel a little left out, but I got my seltzer water, so I got that going for me.
Nice.
Anyway, so Andy, we love having you on here. Obviously, there's a lot of great stuff we want to talk about, especially kind of the thing we're doing together. But why don't we just break it down and talk about your season? You're 11-3 right now at 157. You seem to really be rolling at this point. What's the big difference between this year and last year? I know we're going to get into weight and things of that nature, but why don't you just break it down for us in terms of what's the difference between the last two seasons?
I think last year I kind of had to get my feet wet a little bit. I was kind of thrown to the fire. Didn't really wrestle my true freshman year during COVID. Just coming off a shoulder surgery for my senior year of high school. From then, I got big after I was a 145 state champion. Got all the way up to 185 because of the surgery. Coaches, when I'm at 185, coaches thought like, oh, probably 165 would be my weight. Ended up wrestling 165. Probably wasn't the right way for me. As I started wrestling more and more, the weight started to really come down, and now I'm feeling good down at 157. I feel like that's been a big key. Like down at the right weight, wrestling the right guys. Last year I felt like it was a little undersized. And then I stayed there right after Big Ten, didn't get the result I wanted. Stayed there from March up until when school started. I kept training throughout the summer and the spring and really hit the mats hard. I mean, I can't blame it all on being undersized. Obviously I get better at wrestling too. So just really dedicated myself to the room and getting better.
Nice. That's something, we got some messages from our fans. Jay Klein. Actually, you ever watch Born in the 4th of July? Born in the movie, Tom Cruise? You should watch it. Back in the day, good movie. Jay Klein was an actor in it. He was asking about that. The difference between wrestling at 165 versus 157. Any main differences there in your style or your approach or anything else?
Yeah.
Besides just, the size.
Yeah, I felt like at 165, I was so forced to squeeze these guys from being on the side. I had to use all my muscle to try and slow these guys down or try and equal their muscle and strength. But I'd use everything I had and kind of really took a lot out of me, gassed me out a little bit more. Now I feel like I'm just as strong, if not stronger than most of these guys at 157. And I'm open, I'm free, I'm not really squeezing. If I'm in this high, I'm really touch go. So I really using a lot more energy, feel a lot more wind when I wrestle now. I felt like after every match last year, I was like sucking wind every match, and now I feel like I have a lot more pace to my matches.
Yeah, and that's something John and I were talking about earlier in the year is your bottom game. and your explosiveness. I mean, we were joking around that you were averaging 11 seconds to get out from bottom. So I think that adds into that, just being a little bit more fiery, dealing with a lower weight class, probably feel a lot better down there. So I think your bottom game has been a little bit more plentiful as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Brian Lauer, another question from the fans. Brian Lauer, former 157 pounder for Rutgers back in the old days. He's asking, what are you working on? I mean, you're right there, 11-3. Trying to get to that next level, start taking out some nationally ranked guys. What are you working on to get to that next level, to take those guys in the top 20 out?
Yeah, I mean, all three of my losses came to guys in the top 20, and I feel like all three matches I wasn't really tackling around my feet. I feel like last year, this year, same kind of issue, maybe a little bit more belief in my shots, and I still got to believe a little bit more, and got to get more firing on my feet, because top game is my best position. I feel like I rode everyone out pretty much. If I get on top, I'm riding you out. That's how I feel, and I just gotta get to my shots more, open up more on my feet. I mean, the Stanford match, every time I shot, I took the kid down. I mean, every time I got in, I took him down. And the Penn match and Princeton match, I didn't really shoot too much, but I gotta do more on my feet, because my shots are good. I just gotta believe in them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good stuff. And it's funny because you talk about the top game. That's what Big Ten wrestling is. So, it's a beautiful thing. I know people we talked about loving freestyle, but there's still something beautiful about watching a guy get ridden out for a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And I love that aspect of your game. But let's pull it away from your individual accomplishments this year and talk about the team atmosphere. Because I know we saw it when John and I were down there in the room and talking to the guys and just seeing the atmosphere. And it really does seem like a true team environment this year. So why don't you talk about that, the team atmosphere?
Yeah, I feel like we're all pretty young. It's a pretty young team. Team full of like sophomores, even freshmen, Saldano, a couple of juniors and seniors for going there, but a lot of sophomore, freshmen wrestling, and everyone's just eager to learn. Everyone's eager to get after it. You can see it after practice. When practice is over, everyone's like half an hour practice is over, and kids are still in there trying to learn. Like, for example, yesterday, me and O'Neill were after practice working with Pollard, working on our front heads and attacking on top. And then today after practice, me and White were working with Coach Pritzloff and Coach Buxton, getting to our power positions and changing over and getting out. So everyone's just eager to get better, and that's just awesome. It's a great environment to be around. Everyone just picks off one another. Like, one guy does this, oh, how did you do that? One guy does this, oh, how did you do that? And it's a really cool, really fun environment to be around, and we're really close to the team. I mean, on the mat, in the room, we're all laughing, joking around. But when it's time to go, we go, and that's outside the room. We're all hanging out with one another, having fun. So
awesome, and I think that really came through. I mean, those two gutty wins against Princeton and Penn, they're two tough teams, and kind of took a complete team effort to get those get the job done there. So let's talk. You're the first breakdown from the barn sponsored athlete, hopefully first of many. How does that feel? How does that make you feel?
It's I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm honored to be the first athlete to break down from the barn. You guys are doing a great job covering wrestling and MMA and whatever sports. But you guys are just doing a great job, and it's amazing to be the first athlete. And I think NIL, it's my first NIL deal, so I'm just really excited to be the first athlete.
Yeah, so hopefully it's first as many for you. And as you know, we sold these awesome t-shirts, right? And you were the winner of that. Collingswood Panther Train came in big for you. I mean, I saw Declan Moody out there, dropping off shirts to him. How does it feel to have so much support, from your local community still supporting you while you're in college?
Yeah, Collingswood's a tight-knit group. Coach Moody, my ride or die, is my main man. I didn't even I knew about the fundraiser, like the get shirts, whoever sells them their shirts, get the NIL deals, and I didn't even realize Moody just sent it out to everyone, and next thing you know, it's like everyone's buying a shirt. So I mean, everyone wants to support one another, and it's awesome. It's a really awesome sound to be a part of.
Nice.
Yeah. And what's nice too is you're not just doing it on the mat. Sounds like you're getting it done in the classroom as well. So why don't you break it down for me? What your aspirations are after wrestling? You know, what are your dreams, your goals? Kind of what do you want to do once you finally are done lacing off? And let's be clear, you got a lot of wrestling left to go. That's the good thing. But it sounds like you're knocking it dead out there in the classroom as well.
Yeah, obviously I want to wrestle as long as possible. So, but whenever that comes to an end, uh, probably something like the finance world, financial advisor, something along those lines. That I want to make money, so whatever.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wow.
So yeah, I was gonna say let's go back to wrestling. We've got we've got Midlands coming up, and I know John and I always talk about what the Midlands tournament and how it's good to have it back this year. Obviously, last year they had to do a modified version because of the COVID situation. So talk to us about getting at it Midlands. What are you guys preparing for, and kind of what's your thoughts going into that tournament, because it's kind of one of the bigger tournaments early season. It's going to be a lot of tough outs in that. It's going to be a lot of good competition. So walk us through that.
Yeah, it's kind of the halfway point of the season. We had a little break, and now we hit Midlands, and then we kind of get started. We got 2 more duels after Midlands, Bloomsbury, Ryder, and then we hit our Big Ten schedule, and then it's Big Ten. So it's kind of our first big test, kind of a mini Big Ten tournament. So it goes this, Big Tens, Nationals, and there's a lot of good guys at my weight. There's 2 guys that I lost to will be there. So I'm kind of really eager to get back and the rest of those guys, because they're 2 performances that I thought I could wrestle a lot better, and 2 kids that, I think I can beat anybody. Personally, it's a mindset I have. If I go out there and wrestle my best match, I think I can beat either one. So I'm really excited to get out there, and I think our team is excited to get out there. I think we're all really excited to see what we can do. I think our coaches are excited to see what we can do, because I think we got a lot of guys that can get on the podium out at Midlands, and I think can really put a lot of people on notice what representation is about.
Nice. Yeah, Midlands was always one of the funnest tournaments back in the day. So looking forward to watching you guys compete there. So coming back, that's going to come into the January season and schedule, and you guys are going to be back in Jersey Mike's Arena. What should the fans expect January 20th versus Michigan State?
I feel like there's going to be a lot of energy. First match back in the JMAC, and it's going to be a good one. We lost Michigan State last year, got upset, so it's a kind of a revenge match. I think guys are really eager to get out there and wrestle those guys. I know I got a big match against ranked opponent, so I'm really excited to go in there, take him out, and get a ranked win over him and keep pushing forward.
Nice. Yeah, it should be good. We're excited about that one. We're going to have the big pre-party there. So, big tailgate. We got the 10 up and everything. It's going to be good. I think we're going to get some cherries, cupcakes there too. So everyone get your tickets, go to breakdownfromthebarn.com for that. That's going to be a good time.
But it sounds like, John, we're gonna have to get you peanuts, because you need the protein. You can't be eating the cupcakes. So
Got some protein cupcakes.
You got it.
gotta have the protein.
But we got Crush coming there too with the protein shakes and cupcakes too.
Nice.
Donuts. We're gonna have protein donuts, so they'll be there too. So that'll be good.
Yep. And there's nothing like having a nice tailgate out in the 20-degree weather with the heater going. So it's
We'll be heated. We got the heat. It's gonna be
70. Yeah, it'll be 75.
75.
5 in the 10.
It'll be nice in there, right?
Yep. So we got Michigan State. Obviously, we come back that Sunday for another match. So are there any other matches you have circled down? Any particular matchups that you're looking for outside of that weekend that maybe we want to be aware of?
The whole Big Ten schedule. I mean, I got some. I think I was looking at it. I think every team I'm going to wrestle in the Big Ten's got a ranked guy at my weight. So every Jersey Mike Arena match, I got Saldante, Dewan, the Northwestern kid, he's ranked. And then whoever Penn State sends out, but they think they're ranked. So I'm excited to get to wrestle. I mean, I want to wrestle the best, and I want to take them out and show everyone what I'm about.
Nice. And what's your goal for the end of this year? Where do you see yourself at the end of this year?
I mean, I want to be on the podium in March. I want to be an All-American. I mean, if you're wrestling at this level, you both have to be shoot for a national champ or an All-American. So those are my goals, and I believe I can do it. So that's where I want to be standing at the end of March on the podium.
Nice.
I was going to ask you, talk about want to be on the podium and obviously all the goals you have going. Something I've always wanted to ask, when you talk about, a lowly region, place winner like myself and John did well, but being a New Jersey state champ, that carries a lot of weight. And we talk about New Jersey wrestling and how it's up there with maybe the top 5 states. So being a New Jersey state champ, do you find there's any added pressure coming into, whether it's Mike's Arena or coming to the Big Ten and having to perform on the big stage and live up to those expectations and knowing all the great wrestlers that came out of Jersey? How do you mentally prepare to come into college knowing that you've got that, you're coming in with that title?
You have to deal with the pressure. I feel like the state tournament really prepares you well for that pressure that you will face in Jersey Mike's Arena. The state finals are pretty much the same atmosphere, one mat, boardwalk hall, and these crazy Jersey fans yelling at you, blah. And that's a great experience. I mean, I love that experience from high school. I would go back and wrestle in states every day, and it was awesome. But Jersey Mike's Arena is the same experience. I love wrestling at Jersey Mike's Arena, and I just can't wait to get back there. It's really prepared me well for that. I think thought I was gonna be scared going in. It is a little bit scary, not gonna lie, but once you think back to hey, I've competed at the New Jersey State Tournament, one of the best state tournaments in the world. I'm pretty prepared for it, I think. And I think that's a lot of our guys on our team are pretty prepared. They've all wrestled there. They look up and down our lineup. Every Jersey guy is our state. I think every Jersey guy in our lineup is state fan, so it's pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny because the state tournament, I talk to people about this, how you've got people. I remember for a number of years, I think like almost 7 or 8 years after I graduated, I kept going back and you're right. The atmosphere of being in a state championship final, back in the day, whether it was Jadwin or down Atlantic City, you're right. There's like well over 10,000 fans all into it going nuts. So I think you're right. I think if you can live up to that and you can succeed in that environment, it's almost very similar because a lot of these kids who go to college, they don't have the same atmosphere you have in the New Jersey State title. So I agree with you 100%. I think that really prepares you to be ready to deal with that Big Ten grind.
Yeah, it's the best state to wrestle in.
Yeah,
Jersey.
without a doubt. So what about, I know you're going to Midlands, let's talk about, is there anyone on the team we should have a keen eye on for the Midlands tournament? Anyone you see about to break out that we should be watching?
I think everyone's right there. I think the whole team can compete right there. I'm excited to see a lot of our guys wrestle. I mean, I was looking at some of the on wrestle set. They got some of the guys for weight. Saldano is weight class, the #1 guy. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Freshman going out to this first Midland tournament. I'm excited to see the guys that I wrestle with every day do. I want to see them succeed as well. I mean, I wrestle with White a lot. I wrestle with O'Neal a lot. I want to see them succeed. So
Nice.
I want to see all my teammates do well.
Gonna be good. And last question. I know not just wrestling. You were the quarterback in Collingswood, right?
Yeah.
What do we think? What do we think about down here in South Jersey? I know Winnuck doesn't like this, but the Eagles are 13-1, right? Jalen Hurts, on fire. What do we think about Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team for the rest of the year?
I think they're Philly sports are on top right now. The Phillies making the World Series, the Eagles 13-1, 76ers will pick it up towards the end of the season, they'll make a run. So it's exciting to be a Philly fan, and the Eagles specifically right now, they're on fire. Jalen might not play this weekend, but it doesn't even matter. Gardner Minshew's gonna do some Minshew magic, go out there, get the dub. What are you, a Giants fan, Winnuck?
Yeah, man, I'm a Giant fan, and I'm laughing because I married into a Philadelphia family, so to speak. My wife's family is originally from Coatesville, that's down outside Philly. She grew up in Bloomsburg, so trust me, man, I get it all the time about the Eagles, about the Phillies. And I was on this family text message when the Phillies were in the World Series. I'm still getting over the fact that the Yanks choked again to Houston, and I got to read all these text messages about the lonely Phillies being the World Series. But yeah, I'm a Giant fan through and through. Used to be a season ticket holder.
Yeah. Well,
it's all good, man. We're making the playoffs. We're making the playoffs this year. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the Detroit Lions do well there too. I think they might not be with the Commanders out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, listen, we're down here, South Jersey. I think the Eagles are going to do big things. I think Andy Clark's going to do big things. Great follow. Great having you on. You got one more thing with that? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I got my Santa hat. The only problem I have with you Philly fans is you booed Santa Claus. It's the holidays. You just got to point that out.
Snowballs at Santa Claus. That's how we roll down here. That's what we do. But hey, follow the show. Make sure you get us on Instagram, Facebook, listen on Spotify. And listen, guys, come out the 20th. We're going to have a big tailgate, like we said, 75 degrees in that tent. Huge tailgate. Go to breakdownfromthebarn.com for tickets. Get there. We'll see you at Jersey Mike's, and we'll be following you on Midlands, guys. Have a good one. Great having you on, Andy.